Morning, morning. And morning, Shine. Team of fellow traders, yeah. Morning to you, Mr. DK. For a couple of minutes to get started. Okay, up on. Let's get started. Okay, ooh, excuse me. Let's have a look. We looked at yesterday, down here, CAD CHF. Maybe see it's just some companies coming to join. You're long and short on this one. What was the price again? 88. Right about there. Well, haha. And Tomby, I think we're even steams at the moment. 24 hours later, it seems to be exactly the same. It looked like you were slightly ahead of the game, and then it came back off again. And I think I was just slightly ahead of the game. Now we're back to sort of even Stevens. So we're running around the track 24 hours later. I've got to maintain sense of humour. It's really happening, eh? And we're back in the same position. Entry is exactly what it was as yesterday. So clearly, those who went long aren't really doing anything. Those who went short aren't doing anything. That's the market for you. Classic example. I didn't prepare it. I just thought I'd have a look at it and see. And it was reminded when your name came up on top to see if it's shooting up or what's happening. So there you are. That's the indecisive of the market. So we went long or short. It's not happening. It's basically back to square one. So you're going to buy and sell. I'm not so sure you're not right, actually. It could actually go back. I think this is going to be a bit of a line in the sand. You can get back there. But if it gets up to there, I'm suggesting if it starts coming off, maybe take your profit. If it doesn't, well, it's a different story altogether. But yeah, interesting. I don't know anybody this morning read the QT update, which you get sent. It's worth having a look at if my QT group. But in a nutshell, without having to wade through it, it's basically saying what I've been basically not saying, but whinging, moaning about for the last week or two. Is even analysis out there, I'm not quite sure which way this market wants to go. And obviously, it's not me actually writing that. It's put together my analysis, and obviously I take it and paste it on the QT. And some of the stuff might be irrelevant. It costs me South Korean Indians, worry about that. But that's just part of what we get, so I'm putting it out there anyway. It doesn't do any harm. But the major thing is, if these guys who's paid all these millions of dollars supposed to know what the hell's going on and find exactly the same what we've been talking about here, we find to our practical inconvenience as well, the frustration is there. And I promise you, I'm not making excuses whatsoever. I'm just stating as it is. When you get a situation clearly sort of identified as what happened yesterday, with some guys went long, some guys went short, and look where we are. 24 hours later, we're still at the starting point, exactly the same. And that is really just to bear in mind. Okay, it's not us. All the guys might know that, but even they get frustrated. New guys thinking, well, I bought this damn thing, you know, to get from, you know, Joburg to Cape Town. And a week later, I'm still in actually, I'm in Pretoria. I'm not anywhere nearer. It's not our fault. It's a situation there. And you've probably been noticed, we haven't got that many trade ideas out in the last couple of weeks either, because when they haven't been that great, as it turns out. To start off okay, but it didn't actually always work out. A couple might have done, but unfortunately, a lot of them didn't. And a good example is yesterday's AUD USD. Started off all right, and they went back and stopped out. And this is where you get the guys complaining. They spend a lot of money, clearly, and I sympathize with them, to learn how to trade the market. For what purpose? To make money, not to increase the minus situation. And I'm totally empathetic with them. I understand, because obviously I'm in that situation myself. I'm not saying you do it, I do it myself. And I'm just as frustrated. And all I can say is just try and muscle it through, don't overexpose, stick out the tough times. So when the good times happen, it's a bit like a marriage. Hold it together, and then you'll be happily look back and laugh in 10 years' time or whatever. But yeah, so just try to start off with that. Try and put stuff on a bit more hopeful note. I'm the only one who don't have sound. Well, if nobody can hear me, please say so. It's a bit stupid thing to say that. You can't be, wouldn't know to answer the question. So I better write it down. Can you guys hear me? It might. Just get a feedback on that. Hang on, no, hang on, my mute, fine. There's no problem just now. I've been a couple of meetings this morning. It's not the first one. Very clearly, thanks. So I've been very surprised suddenly it's me now, because I've just been at a strategy meeting, a staff meeting, and all loud and clear, no problem there. Okay, thanks for that. So, well, there we are, got your answer. So maybe you're muted, or maybe you've got to increase your volume your side. Any problems, don't look at me, go and look at Mr. Mark Shearer if he's there, or a youngster if they're there, they'll help you out. There you are, guys, older guys, you have problems with IT, look around for a youngster if they know what's going on. If it's a teenager, you guarantee they know what's going on, they're brought up with it. In fact, they're never off the damn thing. Okay, if Mark, an IT guy, will sort it out, yeah. So Tom is having a problem. I don't know where you guys are. The other guys aren't, and so it's clearly not on my side. So we'll just identify that. To start off with, and Tom is just left. Probably Mark will come back in again. Okay. All right. Showering the lady with compliments and couldn't hear a word I was saying. What a pity. I'm not going to do it all over again. Okay. Right. Okay. Good stuff from Tom. But no, I pretty missed that. Showering you with compliments, which I'm going to repeat it all again. So anyway. Right, so move on from there. So we'll see how that pans out. We're doing the new strategy, the EJ strategy we call it, on the NASDAQ and the Dow. The Dow's closer, we'll do the Dow first. Okay, we'll do them anyway, in a minute. It's hovering around, but let's look at what price did we get in on. The Dow was a buy at 33376. So it's just under 200 pips in profit, just under, remember. So 190, nearly 200 pips in profit. Now, remember, 200 pips in profit in the Dow doesn't sound a lot, but always compare it to if you're in a currency pair. If the euro dollar or something like that, and you're 200 pips in profit, you'd be extremely happy camper. You get my point. So that's doing just fine. Okay, so strong suggestion, protect yourself, move it up or whatever you want to do, but that's clearly doing very nicely. Now, I had a chat with Gerard here, at the moment, this morning, and we're trying to aim for in the reason amount, maybe 75 to 150, call it maybe 100 plus, something like that per week pips on a consistent basis. Well, this is already 200 pips in our favor. So if you took a 30 pip or a 50 pip loss in your first couple, in your previous couple, this one already, and this is the one winner, this can outplay 3 losers. That's another way of looking at it. So just bear in mind, whether you lost 10 and won 1, if your net pips are consistently 100 pips a week up, what a pleasure. You get the idea. So we're after pips, trying to get a consistency going, and that's the name of the game. Net pips in profit. Clearly, it might be obvious to you guys, but sometimes it's not, because you get emotion carried away. I've just lost on 3. Oh, well, that's a bit of a pity. How much we lost? Oh, 40. Oh, shame. What do you mean the winner? Oh, 200. Oh, that's all right. You know, just put in perspective. Okay. Well, I can't do that, Mark. If you can't do it, trust me, I'm the wrong guy to look at. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it looks a bit like Rory McIlroy or Tiger Woods asking me for golf hits. Don't think so. So, yeah. And I can't shout really loud, although a lot of people say I shout loud enough anyway. Okay. All right. So there we go. Okay. NASDAQ. Not quite as good at 13,116. Let's have a look. Just we're going in 13,116 on the NAS. No, it's not much happening there. Well, this is not downs, but it's 20 pips is diddly. But it's 20 pips, not even that really. It's about 15 in profit. Been hovering around, but at least it's better a light blue than a light red, shall we say? No, I always play it on maximum. And what I use, I've got a monitor. It's a TV set. A TV set I've used, one of those flat screens, and I've decided it's not a smart TV. It's a normal TV, and it's quite a big screen. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's pretty big to me sitting here. The beauty with it is it's got quite a loud volume on it. I'll keep it at maximum. So if I have to shoot off and something happens, I can hear bang bang and hear all that racket coming in. I can hear it. So I leave it on maximum. So if it's not a problem, this I would establish, but I would never switch the volume down. I always keep it loud. I'd rather switch my volume down, my voice volume down than that, so you can hear clearly. So I think it is on your side there. Okay, so then let's not shoot the lights out. It's slight profit. The other one's a KCADJPY. We went to that. I think that was the same principle. No, sorry, I beg your pardon. It was the CAD CHF. The reason why we did it, because in the CAD CHF, I'll show you what we mean yesterday. It was the EJ one we're talking about. I'm sure we're all familiar what we're on about now. Right, CAD as a cell. And then we went to the hour, and it was below that, so we went for the cell, somewhere around about there. So what did we get in on? What's about there at the moment, right? Maybe it should be right down there. Where did we get it? What's this now? Okay, no, went to our chart. So this would have been, when would we do it? This was about, what, in the afternoon, wasn't it? So this would be, what's that time then? 2200. 17. Yeah, we got in around about we got in this candle here. Remember now, around about, well, we obviously got in that level. I think we chased it a bit because we need to get in there. We missed it. Remember? So we sold it according to the rules, but instead of getting there, I think we chased it a bit. Never mind, we got it. That's the point. And so far, it's about even Stevens. It might get a bounce here on the hourly because that applies to all of them, but it seems to be sort of reds coming in, so that might come right. So those three we did yesterday, 200 we're happy with. Okay. Some guys might even want to take it and bank it, solid. But the rules should hold it, but I hope it didn't go wrong for you now. You get nervous. It's now starting to come off a bit. So you might get a little bit nervous there. The whole candle isn't below the red. Never mind if it stops down here. If the candle goes below the magenta, the entire 1 hour candle that is, go to the magenta, the rules will tweak them as we discuss them, is to get out of it. Sorry if it goes shooting back up again, but it might as well stay with the rules. The idea there is to hold on in there when it's above, the full candle's above, as we can see there. So the moment it's still halfway house. We'll have a look at 10. If it's below that at 10, we get out, but you've still made yourself maybe 160, 170 pips. What a pleasure. We'll stick down to 90 plus. And that adds to the journal recap we'll do at the end of the week, which is going to be Thursday in this case, clearly, and going on. If you're at a buy, well, that you're obviously doing it on your own purpose. It's not on the Dow. We're talking about the Dow now. Yeah, we're talking about a buy. Not, yeah, the Dow is a buy. But I'm saying if it falls below there, we won't be selling it. No, we certainly won't be selling. Look at the daily. Daily won't be selling it. It means you'll be exiting. You'll have to wait to get stopped out down here. If it opens up at 10 o'clock, the rules are if that entire candle opens up below that magenta 10-hour moving average, you will then exit. Oh, can't see a check. Well, if you're to buy, it's up to you. But the rules on this particular principle, and add it down as the EJ principle, would be a sell because it's below there. Then you get a confirmation on the hourly, which was down here, if I remember. Where was it? That's right, it was down here. So we got in on that particular candle yesterday. Okay, that was the idea. If you tried to go along, that's up to you. But the rules of this play, even if it went up, the rules were to sell it on that basis. Okay. Okay, I hope that's clear, Anne-Marie, because I'm going to move on now. US dollar ZAR. Repeat it again, ad nauseum. Do not touch the ZAR unless you got enough money, enough understanding. This is an exotic. It's not a major or a cross, as they call the others, but it's not a major currency. Leave it at that. Going into too much detail. The situation is, it means you need a higher deposit and much higher costs. So if you've got a limit account, rather leave it alone. Don't think it's going to fly. We all know the rand's weak, so therefore by the dollar, your costs and tying up your capital might always work out. There's nothing given. Even if you know things, there's no such thing as knowing. Funny things happen. You know what I mean? There's always got to be a buyer and a seller. Try and understand that. It's no such thing as a giveaway, a no-brainer. It's from some pretty good high probability ones to give you that. But it cannot be a no-brainer, because if it was, you'd have somebody take the opposite point of view. You can't buy it because no one's going to sell it as a no-brainer. Why would they? Always bear that in mind. It's very, very difficult to get this point across. If you're looking for the no-brainer, easy buck, this is the wrong business. Try go and watching Only Fools and Horses, or go and, I don't know, something else. But normally they end up a crop anyway. The get-rich-quick schemes, the poor house is littered with them. There's no such thing, and somebody's got to give somewhere. If you're always winning, not let you into the casino. You get the idea. And if you're always losing, they won't make any profit because you'll never go back again. Why would you? You've got to understand. It's got to be a counterparty every time. Please understand that concept and get over the self-absorbed area, which most people have. If I'm looking for the no-brainer, easy one, it's no such thing. It's that easy. Believe me, the guys with the brains, money, the computers would have got there first. Okay, where are we? So I don't feel long or short on this one. On the hourly, it's a short. The daily, it's looking like a neutral. What I think of at the moment, I'm inclined to upside. I don't think the fundamental strength of the brand is good. They huff and puff and talk and give it another chance. We mustn't give up hope, and there's still a chance. I've been hearing that through me for many years, but I haven't seen the action. And I have to say, I don't be nasty. There's a lot of talk around the world at the moment. When it comes to actually action, it's not always the same place at the same time. If you get my meaning, we're trying to stick to the diplomatic route. So I'm inclined to see support there, a bounce to the north. My idea for a trade on this would be a buy. If you're short, I wouldn't be agreeing with you. But would I go in now? I am reluctant to say go in unless people understand that they've got to be able to afford to trade this one. It's higher cost, higher deposit. And even before the deposit means you've got no free margin left to go anywhere else. And look at the buyers and sellers are telling you it's not really pulling back much, but it's not going anywhere. It tried to go up yesterday, what are we on? Tuesday, Friday, tried to go up, nothing happened. Tried to go up yesterday, nothing happened. Tried to go up today, nothing happened. You might be sitting that for a while. I still see the upside, but can you afford to go in with your margin taken up and your costs higher for the next few days, and you get a couple of peachy trades out like that, eh? And you can't take them. So just remember, if you've got a small account, I know you start with it, just remember you've got to take, you are very limited what you can do. Always remember that. I'm not saying bung money in, but I'm just saying do not expect to have the same freedom of movement of a guy clearly who's got more balance like anything else in life. Just remember, I've got a small account, it's a small account. Now, in my opinion, anything below 10,000 rands, a small account. Anything below 5 is, well, a very small account. You're always going to be limited in your diversification of what you can do. Always bear that in mind. Cut out the fact you're going to make all sorts of £1,000 a month. When you've got a small account, don't even worry about that side. This is a part where you get a small amount in, try and maintain equity balance, and try and learn your stuff as you're going through. So when you do have money put in and you start doing it properly with a decent balance, you've got the knowledge to hit the ground running. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so don't decide your account is, but I think rather just make sure you got enough free margin. But yeah, if you're long, I would agree with you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to interfere with the sales guys, but I'm regulated here, so I've got to try and bring a little bit of reality into life. And you know what I mean? I know I've been in sales, I know they will obviously, because that's their job. But my job is quite frank to, we've got a good product, but yeah, let's get a bit of reality. A lot of people are buying up, quite frankly, buying a bicycle and expect the performance of a spaceship. Not quite going to happen. Okay. Right, was the other one you looked at? AUDCAD. What do you want to do there? You can tell what you wanted to do, just what's the opinion of the following trades. Clearly, it's fairly bottom of the range at the moment. The Royal Bank of Australia came out with the interest rate was exactly as expected. There's no change. Or was there a change? I can't remember. No, check to make sure it was a change. Make that concern of that. RBA, where is it? RBA. RBA. Was it yesterday? I was looking at yesterday's, you idiot, Roger.
No, it came out this morning.
Yeah,
no
this morning, yeah, no, let's scroll down the other one. I've got the full week on there, and I'm staring at Mondays. Okay, expected 360. It was 3.6, so no change as expected. As mentioned, they don't like spooking the markets. That's why in South Africa they put up 0.5% of a quarter. That tells you something. We got an issue. If they spook the markets by coming something different to the expectation, you know there's an underlying problem, because no guy in that position is going to do that unless they really sort of have to for proper responsible economic reasons, and that's why you can get the idea from that. Okay, so yeah, where was it? Okay, so yeah, obviously a bit of support there. Are you confident enough to buy it at this stage? I don't know, you're long short, you didn't tell me. Could get a bounce here, 50 pips. I don't see a trade there. My opinion on this one, if you're not in it, stay that way. Just looking at that on the daily, stay that way. I don't see a trade there. All right, Sean Dell slipped on Tuesday after signal about interest rate steady or bring back against some of the ground lost. Yeah, okay. In closely watch Monday pauses, just follow everyone else. My bonds were similar to everyone else. Cash rate. Remember, they all had minute interest rates due to COVID. All of them did. All fell along that line. Which basically is they just increased debt. They sold free money, all of them, because the political area of losing votes is more important than the economic aspects. They just kicked it down the road. So from an economic point of view, was it wise? Probably not. For gaining votes and keeping the poor chap happy out there, probably yes. So you're going to add up which you think is more important stuff. Aussie fellas, yeah, sorted out now. That's yeah, we know that. So leave that one alone. If you're in it long or short, keep this up. Keep your fingers crossed and hopefully come right. Not much I can add to that, to be honest. AUD, NZD. This one, the same story. It's battling itself zone. We clearly see that. It's come off a bit, the Aussie. Is it going to continue? It's in that zone there, a range there, I should say. If it comes down here, I don't see there's that much different economies that weaker now or not. I personally think if it comes down there, range traded up again. If it comes down this level here, maybe put a stop there. If it confirm. Always remember, confirm. Don't say jump in there and keep them coming down. That obviously got to use your loaf here. Yeah, it comes down there and bounces a little bit. Stop down here. TP back up there. So that'd be a nice range trade if it comes down a bit further. Otherwise, leave it alone. It's halfway house at the moment. We'll chase it now. GBP CAD. If anyone disagrees, just say so. Yeah, please. Hang on, make sure you're all unmuted. Beg your pardon. Yes, you are. Good. Was it GBP CAD? So it's settled down there. All updated. Yeah, GBP CAD. Yeah, battling to get going. What's the difference between here and here? It's 100 pips more than I thought. Right? It's quite a lot of upside potential. It's back to get going at the moment. Every time it's gone up the last few days, sales have come in. What's it say on the hourly? It's had a bit of a jump there. What is that going to be sustained? Clearly, if you bought there, eh? Look at that. There we talk about if you bought in there, what's it? At 9 o'clock, you'd have been laughing here. We missed it. We missed it. Maybe if you get a bloody gang going together, where Fine looks at GBP, Anna Marie looks at the NZD, Marius looks at the EUR. I look at the USD, so we don't miss it. We miss this fella. Look at this. The buy clearly getting in there at the turn of the hour at 9 o'clock, and already be up 56 pips. Not bad, eh? Anyway, too late to chase now. Okay, leave it alone. EUR AUD. Going through quickly. We can go back in more detail if you request it. Let's go through quickly because we've got a few to look at. EUR AUD, sorry, EUR AUD. Put it back on the daily. Clearly a buy. Clearly got a bit of a resistance where it is at the moment. Look at the hourly. That ship sailed to do the EJ1. So you can't show, and that's too late. What do you do now? I wouldn't do anything right now. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't be buying that now. I would buy it at the moment, yeah, but I wouldn't buy it there. I think that ship sailed. I'd be buying it back down here. I wouldn't sure I'd be buying there. It might break above, and then it seems to be backing to get to these. Look at these sellers here. If you buy it here, if you can get 90, 100 pips, where are you going to put your stop? Certainly in the daily, you're not going to get a risk reward. Clearly not. On the contrary, plus resistance. Look at the 4 hour for you. It's got this problem here and this problem here. No, definitely. On more ticks to say no. It's got this problem on the hourly. Leave that alone. If you're in already, mate, fantastic. Well bloody done. If you're not in, I certainly would not chase it here. Strongly suggest. But by the way, Derek, you should understand now. If you're sure you don't understand, run it by. I promise you, if I don't know, maybe Mark or Anna Marie or Fanny or Dirk or Etienne or Ewan or somebody might know. You know what I mean? I can't mention all the names. So no problem with that. Absolutely. It's support. Okay. EUR AUD is along. Do you want to look at that? EUR AUD is along. Yeah, I'm just looking at that now. Okay. So no, I'm definitely more reason to stay out than to do anything with this. Could even pull back a little bit, but I certainly wouldn't sell it. This one, leave it alone. I've got a few to look at. This you could have me come first. The possibility of a VHF JPY one. It's not much going at. A bit hesitant on it actually because it's just not getting going. It's the problem I'm having with it. Let's see JPY. Just not getting going. Look at the daily. I mean, it's going up, seller coming in, going up, so it's just not getting going. Look at the hourly one. Clearly, we can look at a buy on the hourly. My worry, it's not getting going. Having said that, I don't know, what is the stop to here? It's only 15 pips. What do you think? I'm talking about the using this new strategy we've got here. Do you think that's worth chasing for long at this level? It's a buy. What do you think? Or got to use common sense, not diving every bloody one of them. We're tweaking as we go along. What do you think? What do you think, Etienne? Okay, should we leave alone? What do you think? Any other information on that? Yeah, what do you think? Should we chase this one? My worry is it had come back, but this is on the 1 hour. There's a bit of support there, and the buyers are coming in. The 4 hour, it's not. I promise you, like most of these things, it's not getting going. But that's the markets here. That's not the Japanese fault, the Swiss franc fault, or the whoever's fault. It's just backing to get going. But on the principle, it's the buy zone, and on the 1 hour, it's clearly taken out this guy here. Do you think it's worth chasing? You think so? Derek's not so sure on the EJ strategy. What do you think? What do you think? And see if we can grab some pips. If you're not confident, go with maybe 10 micros, go with 5 or 1 or 2, or maybe just go smaller. If you don't, you know, obviously, if you don't believe in it, don't do it. But maybe. And if you go with 5, 10, 20, or 100, the point is, if you made 20 pips, you made 20 pips. Of what size going? Do you think we can, at the end of the week, add to our sort of extra pips by doing this one? I'm not sure how much difference that will make to this one, the DXY. So I'm not too sure about that. Do you want to try this or not? Not the one we're going to send out. I'm talking the trading room EJ one. What do you think, guys? Anyone want to join? You feel Derek a little bit late? Not for me. Don't forget every one of them. Might come up with 50. Don't forget everyone. Okay. Miss a few, but that's where I'll get a team going. Works out. Where, you know, we'll be assigned a currency to keep them good eye on. Then we could all retire. What a pleasure. Not quite sure, actually, to be honest. Everyone depends on the dollar. If it affects it negative on the Swiss, why would it not be affected negative on the JPY? You know? I just personally, off the top of my head, I would assume the Swiss franc being a money place like the Caymans, I would think it would be less affected than the Japanese yen, which exports big time to America. So I would assume a stronger dollar would be a little bit of a negative, I would say, off the top of my head, the yen more than the Swiss franc, because it means, no, the other way around, sorry, a weaker dollar would be more of a negative to the JP. Let's get the right way around. They're exporting, they're buying in dollars, less dollars. So a stronger dollar means they're getting more yen for their money, if they can afford it. Yeah, stronger dollar would be good for the yen. A weaker dollar, in theory, should be bad for the yen. So the way they're thinking, because they're exporting nation, Swiss franc, obviously, they're more conservatively known as Zurich. Makes sense? Etienne, would you agree with that analysis? Yeah. If I was an exporting nation and I export predominantly to South Africa, I want South to have a strong rand because it makes my products cheaper, so I like to get ahead of the competition. Or they like my products, you know. They want to buy them, but it's too expensive. Now they can. They're getting a better exchange rate. Got it? Got to stand your head sometimes, guys, trying to work it out, eh? See, well, as long as gold remains strong, that's a likely situation. If the world thinks I'm worried, I want my money in the safe haven, the gold, it's got to come from somewhere, and it'll come from the dollar. I can certainly do that. I can certainly do that. Do you want to do just a strategy trade, which would break below that, take it out, or do you want to do the longer term one? Which one do you want to do, Matt? Like there's slightly different aspects to the mechanics of the trade. You want to do what we call the EJ one. You don't worry about a TP. You just put a 50 pip away stop loss in, and if you get by modifying the stop, you either stopped out or the candle breaks. Not this one here. Not this one. The entire candle breaks on the 1 hour below here. You take it. You take it. Even if your stop's down here, you take it. Which one do you want? The longer term. If I put it in the daily, wouldn't it? I know it's getting nowhere there. It's fine. $146.86. Not sure. Get it. We tinker with it. Not quite. We can tinker with it. Put a little bit higher if you want, or you can put your stop a bit tighter. Now you can try that. $120. That's not going to hurt too many people from micro. You happy on your AJ one or the longer term or both? You do two different positions if you want. You can do maybe 2 or 3 on this one and maybe do 1 or something on the other one, whichever. You can do them both if you like. I've got one long on the NAS and one and a bigger position short on the NAS. 2 different strategies, you get my point. Both should work. Okay, there you are then. All right, we'll do that then. Happy with that? We'll put that down. Put it on both. Just give me a second or two yet. What is it now? 145.50. $145.50. So 145 would be a stop loss on the strategy one, and that's what 145 stop 50 is about. It's about 90 rand a micro. If you're doing this one's 120, so that's the differential. Don't put a TP on the other one. Just put a stop loss in at 145 on the dot. 90 rand a micro. This one is clearly a little bit more expensive. And what's your TP? Put down for this 145, as we know, on the dot. I'll buy. And what time we take it in? Get an idea. 10 o'clock. Put a separate sheet for this one. Just give me a second. 0423. And put down this one here. And this one here, the normal one, CHFJPY. Fine. 145.50. 144.60 and 147.08. PSOTP, and it was 120 when it was there. Okay, I've got them all down at the original price. Okay, at 145.50. Got them down. I've got a separate journal for the EJ, and the other one keeping it on the normal one. Okay, and do well. Actually, and I tend to agree and do both if you like, or you can choose one or the other. If you're limited in cash, you choose. The EJ is slightly different. 145.50 entry, 145 stop loss, no TP. Both the rules go with it. If you're in the longer ones, it's, well, you can see it on the screen there. Well, if you've done both, that's fine. As long as you're getting the mechanics, no point, no harm in asking, absolutely conferring, moral support, I love it. As long as the underlying mechanics and understood. The rest is number crunching, to be honest. You've got calculators to do that. Concept, we need to understand. That's the major point. Okay, we're all good. Let's see. All got that? Give you a moment or two. Give Fine a moment or two. I think he's still eating his late breakfast.
No, I'm fine. Please repeat the stop loss for the EJ one.
50 pips away. So I make it 145 on the dot, because we got a 145.50. So maybe 145.05. 50 pips away. Don't worry about a TP. Just modify your stop loss or get out if on the daily it goes below. That's on the EJ one. If it goes below here, a 1 hour candle below here, you exit. So if your stop is here, it doesn't matter where your stop is, out there, you get out. That sometimes means you won't lose 50, you might lose 20, 25. Some might lose 50, but the idea is if it goes up, you modify the stop until you get either stopped out on your stop, or you could, I'm just thinking here off the top of my head, let's say you're 50, 60 pips in profit and you're still above the red line there, you might be want to start modifying your stop a little bit tighter than 50, maybe 25 or something. Or you might say, sod it, keep the stop just below the red line and just, maybe keep it, here's an idea, maybe keep it, how far is 20 pips from there? Maybe keep it about 20 pips below red line and keep on moving up. You get my point. Let's have a look at the NAS as an example. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but just come off the top of my head now. Get this out of the way. Right, you're going in there, right, that was the entry, 20 pips below. So you keep your 20 pips below. If it's the middle of the night, maybe you got to make another plan. Put a stop loss where you feel comfortable, so you can rest easy, and then adjust it going up. So keep it below there. So it drops below 20 pips. How far is that? 20 pips from there. Yeah, you'd be stopped out there. Well, you've been stopped out anywhere there. Something like that, so you can ride it. So if that continues to ride, keep it maybe 20 pips, and maybe 20 on the NAS, maybe 50 pips, but maybe 25 pips on the currencies just below the red line, and you could ride it because you don't want to get stopped out just about. If it was 100 pips, let's say it was 100 pips there, sorry, 50 pips there, you would have still been in. You see, just maybe been stopped out. You might have got away with it. Just might have been stopped out. Pity, because if you were, let's say it got to there instead of there. Hope you understand what I'm on about. You bounce up again. You're still on board. You're getting all that which you would not have got, which is nearly 190 pips. So do you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking off the top of my head. Once it's nicely moving, modify your stop to 50 pips below the red and ride it until you go to sleep. Then make a plan, which tells you enough you can make a plan around that. If I can still get out, you can. 25 on the currencies, because you don't get suddenly stopped out by your stop if it's still raging up above the red. You get the idea. That's a tweak I was thinking of. Are you with me? Get a bit garbled or quick because I was thinking as I was speaking. All with me? Good. No, I know the ladies will understand. They're clever. I know in Tomlin's and they're clever. I'm talking the men, the simple males. Do you all get that now? Got some rewards for the female, what do you call it, Liberation Army now. But yeah, just there's another tweet we can look at. Okay. Okay, we've done the CHF JPY. I've got a couple others we can have a check on in the meantime. Just give me a second where I've got them written down somewhere. EUR AUD, I think we discussed that. It wasn't something there. I think we discussed that a moment or two ago. I'll talk about EJ here. EUR AUD. Yeah, clearly a buy. No, that ship sailed. Pity. EURJPY. Remember somebody mentioned, I think it was you, about doing a longer term. Let's do this quickly. I want to come back. Remind me actually while I'm versus the longer term. What's that on the daily? Much clearly a buy, obviously. On the 1 hour, I feel the ship has sailed a bit there, and just a bit of resistance. So I think we'll just stand back on that one. If you want to do it, tell me and I'll go back to it. GBP AUD. Clearly a buy. 1 hour. Look at that. Ah! Do you think that ship might have sailed? What do you reckon, guys? GBP JPY. Okay. Bit of resistance here, which I don't like, whatever this thing's going to say. Yeah, ship missed. So that's the best I could come up with. Okay, right. So I have to leave those alone. Yeah, it came up some this morning before the 9:30 meeting. Like a longer one. I can't remember which one it was. Somebody with a JPY. You're a JPY, I think it was. My worry with longer term now is completely different to the past. If you speak to people 20 years ago, It was not timing the market, it was time in the market. And they go back over the last 100 years, even you have big pullbacks and depressions and whatever, if you'd held on, that all did a nice long-term profit. Equity is long-term, hold on. That's fine. That's been the long-term aspect of Warren Buffett. You'd send his army of accountants in, look at a company, invest in the company itself, look at the balance sheets, the management, etc., and invest in that company in the long term. Fine. The problem is today is because the tech speed is so quick, things are changing very quickly indeed. Now you've got Mark Shearer, who specialized, a very clever guy he is, he's a genius in fact, and he specialized in cassette tapes or LPs, or LPs old school, cassette tapes, or better still, old CD-ROMs. The trouble is, clever guy that he is, nobody wants his CD-ROM anymore because the little flash drive now carries, you know, a couple 100 gigs on it, and you just bung it into your computer side. Who needs a gig's worth of a CD-ROM? You get the idea. So because the change is so damn quick now, we got to. It's a worry. A whole new breakthrough could come in 2-3 years' time, and the thing you're hanging on into came in China, not Japan, and that could have means a lot of the stuff they're trying to export in Japan now is no bloody good anymore because everyone's buying it from China because there's a breakthrough. Betamax and VHF, you can all remember that. So I'm reluctant now, compared to the past, to looking through long-term money because so much is changing at such a radical speed. Okay. Yeah, you're used to that, Mark, but you know what I mean. I don't care how clever you are, how well you run your business, how good management, etc. You try and flog a CD-ROM now. Most of the computers you buy now don't even have a place to put the damn thing. Don't need it. It's out of date. So AUD JPY long term, that's the reason I'm a little bit reluctant. Talk to me 10, 15 years ago, no problem. Even equities. You know, you buy the equity, hit the share in the company, put it under your desk and enjoy the growth of the company. And then somebody comes up with something that's completely revolutionized it, and that suddenly becomes a piece of paper to you, and that's it. Just be careful. Long term, it's not the Warren Buffett be all and end all in the past, and for pretty damn good reasons, the pace of change. Look at a cell phone, what you got in your back in your pocket now, compared to as little as 5 years ago. Different, but you can watch a TV program. So, God, this is coming out of the ark. Look at that cell phone he's got. And you see it was made, let's say, in 1917, 2017 or something. You know, it's only just like yesterday. Betamax and VHF, there you are. So it's this is the major worry about a lot of these companies now. They spend a fortune in these investments, and somebody pits them at the post. They take the risk, and now it's no good to them. People forget that. Okay, look at Nokia, Motorola now compared to Samsung. Look at Apple now. Samsung, Xiaomi now are beating them at it. Huawei, look at them. You get the idea. And then that starts naming some Japanese cell phone companies. I can't think of one of them. What about Toyota? They still like them, but they cost a bloody fortune. In comparison, yeah. There's your issue. Okay, so we just got the one at the moment. How is the NAS? What's the time? Good. NAS, gold's hovering, leave it alone, nothing happening there. The NAS is just sitting still. I think it's stalling a bit, to be honest. I think it's stalling a bit. Doesn't know whether it wants to go further up or down. I don't know either. The Dow is probably stalling as well. And let's have a look at it. ABCD, there's the Dow. Stalling a bit, but every time it comes off, it's trying to go up. So those doing okay. CAD, CHF, was it? Where is it written down there? CAD, CHF, 67.88. Doing absolutely diddly squat. I'm just tell you a boring old joke. The younger ones probably wouldn't know about this. You have to be UK and old bugger. But in the days, back in the 60s, 70s, before Maggie Thatcher came in, UK nearly became a banana republic. Everyone was on strike. And the most famous were the stevedores, the dock workers, you know. you know, you looked at me funny, we're going on strike sort of thing. So his joke came out, it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and his mate turned around, stamped on a snail. And they said, "Hey, what do you do that for, you cruel bugger?" And the guy says, "Nah, the soddy thing's been following me around all day." That reminds me of that little joke there, reminds me of CAD-CHF. Yeah, it's been followed around by the snail all day at the speed it's going. Yeah. Okay, anyone else wants to look at or question or ask? Fundamentals, just give a quick check. You've all got it up. Just copy and paste in case you haven't, but I think we'll got it. It won't take 2 seconds. Must be all on the same page. Okay, right. Just keep this out of the way. Tuesday. Job openings, JOLTS job openings coming up at 4 o'clock, not 2:30, 4 o'clock. Is there much else? Not really. Just that one I'm worried about. Yeah, the US dollar job openings coming up at 4. So anyone seems to be really much importance today. So that's at least that's not too bad. Okay. All remember tomorrow, 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock. If you want, it's me going through, I'll do on a weekly basis, the explanation differential between the NAS normal and the NAS micro. It's quite straightforward, really. But anyway, just the contract size is different. And I'm finding a lot of people seem to be backing to get the understand the difference in the contract size. One guy kicked up because he obviously another broker on this one, and he made, I don't know, it was like 500 rand on the same volume as 50 rand on here, things in gold. And so the reason is the 0.01 and 100 contracts are very different volumes to the 0.01 and 10 contract, because one's a contract of 100 and one's a contract of 10 times as many. I get the impression a lot of people are backing to get that concept. You know, it's like a contract is 10 Mercedes Benzes or a contract is 1. Well, you get the point. Just going to take this quickly. Hello, good day to you. Roger speaking. Hello, Roger speaking. Hello, yes. Not too bad. I'm just in a Zoom meeting. Yes, so can you be quick? How can I help you, sir? Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The problem is I'm in a Zoom meeting at the moment, which I'm hosting. Can I do you a big favor? Can you call me anytime after 11? I'm completing 11 o'clock. Okay. Thanks very much indeed. Cheers, mate. Bye. Hey, normally Kevin, the head of this is going up now. See how that's going to last. Okay, right. Just think about that. Positive correlation, DXY goes up, CHF goes up. But I would be thinking the Japanese yen would prefer a stronger dollar. You know what I'm saying? Because a stronger dollar means they're getting more yens for their dollar. So they sell their products, their cars, their whatever they sell, you know, their cameras or whatever, in yens. Therefore, they can. It's cheaper for them to buy the Japanese product, and they're exporting nation. I would have thought it would be the yen would respond to a correlation with the dollar, which means, yeah, CHF is obviously the base currency. So that I would think would, you know, mean we would actually go down. I don't know, anyway, whatever. Okay, what has happened to CHF JPY as you speak there? It's not hovering at the moment, but it's not hovering badly, it's just hovering. It's not the rules, it's just not really rules changing with people inventing new tech stuff. But to me, it's just basically, if I'm an exporting nation, my biggest market, South Africa, and South Africa rand strengthens, it means they can buy my product. It's cheaper. You know, that's just basic. I don't think that's ever going to change. You know what I mean? I mean, if anybody out there want to buy a product that's slightly more expensive, do you want to? I've got exactly the same product for 100. Do you want to pay 100 or 110 for it? It's a bit of a no-brainer answer, isn't it? I would have thought anyway. My simple little world, anyway. But then again, rationality doesn't always seem to play a lot of part in the world, does it? I mean, Liz Hurley will not marry me. Where's the rationality on that? She uses a bloody spin bowler like Shane Warne's over me. Can you imagine that? Makes no sense, does it? Don't you say a thing, ladies. I don't hear any giggling. Okay, right. CAD CHF is moving sideways. Yeah, I know, Andreas. I can't stand it either. Thank you for that. What is it doing anyway? The DX1 3 on the screen. Yeah, it's taken out 102 again. It's slightly below that. Yeah, the dollar is definitely exhibiting lack of faith in that currency at the moment. So I think it was you saying that I think 100.6. I think you might come back to a round figure. Who knows? The dollar is definitely not the flavor of the month at the moment. That's for sure. See how the job openings happen later on. Going back to jobs, the jobs report on Friday discussed, but I'm going to be a bit wary of jumping in too much in the straddle trade, simply because we've got the weekend coming up, and it's a long weekend, and there'll be some skeleton staff, not to mean they're skinny, but with not that much liquidity at their desk. I think maybe I'll do it anyway at 2 to 3. A lot of people like to join, make them aware of the mechanics. They're ready for the CPI on the Wednesday coming up. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, the following Wednesday coming up on the 12th. They'll be ready to rock and roll for it. But I'm at the moment a bit hesitant to do a trade on it, simply because you're not going to get the US reaction. I know other markets might be open, but it's the US, a jobs report. I don't affect the rest of the world, but primarily it's America. And if half the Americans ain't there, we might be stuck in something, not just for the weekend, but it's not going to open again until Tuesday. Do you see where I'm coming from? That's my point, Anna Maria. Oh, by the way, just on that subject, thinking of you there, I did mention that very kind update you gave me this morning to them. And yeah, they like to hear it. We have a staff meeting on Zoom, then we have a strategy meeting just between the traders at 8:30. That's 8 o'clock. And, you know, Zelda was there, husband was there, you know, the CEO and Hazel, and the others were all there. And that's nice feedback, because a lot of work went into it. A lot of work went into it. No, not me, by the way. The other guy, presenters and Jark and Clinton and all that, they put a lot of work into that. So it's nice to get positive feedback. And if it's not positive, wants constructive criticism, they can tweak it better, you know. Not say it's a lot of bloody rubbish, you know, that doesn't help at all. You know? So thanks, it was mentioned and appreciated. Okay. I didn't mention about the that Zoom thing you went on. Everyone forgot about it, didn't know. I thought that might be prudent to leave that part out of it. Just on the complimentary role, didn't I throw cold water by that one? I'd never even heard of it. It seems to be trying that, Etienne. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm angling towards that, but anything could happen. Okay, right. So there it is. CHF JPY start to move in the right direction. CAD CHF is starting to move in the wrong one for me. It's not a zombie for me, not you. And for the EJ principle, but it's still only a couple of bits, so not to panic yet. Got to give it a chance. It's in Slumberville at the moment. Yeah, it's in Slumberland. Yeah, I'm not getting involved. I don't know much about it. I don't. Yeah, SMC stuff. I prefer to keep my nose out of that. To be honest. It's not my department. It's not my responsibility, and it's not even the same company. That's doing okay. That's fine. Hey, it's not my company. It's not for me to interfere. It's like you work Nedbank and you want to start interfering with the way Capitec's doing their business. It's not nothing to do with me. Keep those out of that. Well, actually, that's coming right, eh? So far, don't get it carried away. What's that? Nearly 20 pips up. So that's okay. Just need to take these little short-term guys, 15-minute short-term candles out and close above those, and move back to movement. SMC stuff, question mark. Oh yeah, no, they had some sort of Zoom thing on about something. Anna Marie was better than that, and asked me. She was sitting there waiting to come in, and WhatsApp me and said, "Where are they?" And I said, I don't know what you were talking about. She contacted Zelda, and Zelda said it was there, but no more. We can apologize. I didn't have the conversation with Zelda, and seemed to be sorted out. I think it's something they forgot to take off the statute books. Anna Marie can explain more because nothing to do with me. TS. TS. I'm sorry, a bit thick here. What's a TF? Time frame. Okay. All right, Marco. Okay, clever guy. I would have got there, but probably not this week. Time frame. Okay, get you. But probably better on the fifth on the hourly one. Yeah, you can step up this guy here from when that was midnight opening, and then we might get some traction. Good. But feel a bit better today. I was a bit depressed yesterday. Not just the marks, just me. I'm feeling that great anyway. You know, everyone's got biorhythms. Sometimes you wake up in the morning, you won the lottery, and you're still in a bit of a depressed mood. Other days you lost the lottery and you feel cheerful. I don't know. Biorhythms. It was a bit down yesterday, but better. They're much better now. What? They just said it. WTF is TF. WTF is TF. I can get away with that because if you know what it means, then you're not quite as virgin as you make out. I remember years ago, years ago, that if you used a four-letter word in front of a female, it was highly disrespectful. It just wasn't done. Now I think they outdo us in the bloody com. In fact, it's nothing to do with actually population anymore. It's just become an adjective. High probability. Now you're getting me worried. I probably traded along. I'm starting thinking maybe we should close and sell short. Maybe I'm being a bit sort of bitchy at the moment about the way the market's been treating me lately. That's probably what it is. Bit of sour grape creeping out here. Anyway, move along. Is the Dow still doing anything there? Where's the Dow? It's trying to move up. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm talking about the EJ one, not about the others. NAS in the NAS trying to move up, so not too bad. So what did we get out of the EJ yesterday? CAD CHF, which is hovering 2-3 in the red, but not terrible. And then the where is it now? The Dow and the other one pretty good, and CHF JPY pretty good, so that's fine. Put it down. Can I ask you a quick favour? Think so? Just post on the chat line. Got to go to little boy's room. 2 cups of tea. Excuse me. Okay, right. Anything else you like to look at? Anything new on the Western Front? Dollar's still weak, so the AUD might be still going up, eh? That's coming off now. That was a bloody bad trade. It's still the buys, I think. That's the daily. Nothing happening there. Leave Brent alone. Leave that alone. GBP CHF. Anything happening there? Daily, 100%. Hourly, ship sailed. That's pretty good that day. The day, isn't it? Yeah, needs to break up. Not enough, no, not enough. Not enough meat on the bones, they say.
Euro JPY, did that sail as well?
It's right resistance to go any further. Makes me a bit nervous, but I think so. Yeah, yeah. It's, what's the time now? 10:09. We should be looking at 8. Well, yeah, 8. We look. I think we did look at it 9:30. I can't remember. I think we did. Couldn't have done. Why when you bought it? Look, the opened above the actual previous hour close, and that would have been enough. Yeah, that'd have been enough to go for. Why didn't we go for that one? Did not have it written down. Had it written down. Yeah. Why did we miss this? Did something happen in the last 15 minutes? No. Missed it. Don't know why. Well, I think about it, a good plan down the line. This thing works out. We have half a dozen people in the team where each one keeps an eye on one currency, so we don't miss it. If we've missed a few, that worked out pretty well because we're trying to sort of spot all the time, and then by the time we come to it, we missed it. That might be an idea if this thing works out. Yeah, we'll put you in charge of the JPY and myself in charge of the dollar, and somebody else in charge of the pound and the CAD, and you get the idea. And the euro. Just keep on spotting them and then get on the bloody WhatsApp group and say, right, we found one on the Euro JPY. Let's get it cracking. We missed it, yeah. Anne-Marie, what makes you think Etienne Joubert is a bit of an analytical? Do you think? Hey, based on the alignment and where it sits. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, Finey, but I reckon chasing it a bit there. Yeah. I'm not keen to chase it now. I don't know about you. It's NZD. So you're missing these. See what I mean? We're missing these. We should be getting these. Right, you're only halfway up and then shut up. Yeah. What? Yo. Still the economic calendar. Didn't see any happening on the pound. Not much on the pound. Not talking about 2-star about some NPC member. Not where it is. Don't want happened there. I said it's 11:15 anyway. So I'm talking rubbish. Not even happening yet. Don't know what's happening. Don't know what happened yet. No idea. Something's happened to the pound is pretty good, obviously. I don't know what happened. Or something happened to New Zealand. What happened to New Zealand dollar? Might be the other way around. Might be NZD actually. No, that didn't come flying off, did it? Maybe it's NZD. I don't know. Something's happened. But why would the NZD happen now when it's, what's the time over there? It's the middle of the bloody night. Don't know.
Roger, the pound strengthened against all the currencies. Something happened to the pound.
Certainly not on my economic calendar, that's for sure.
Same on
okay.
mine.
Okay, yeah, something's happened to the pound. Okay, clearly something's happened on the news. We're sitting here chatting. I don't know what that is, but maybe here when this is finished, maybe we'll stick on Bloomberg or something. But clearly, yeah, something's happened to the pound, yeah. But that's nothing to do with the strategy. That's just luck of the draw if you're the right side of it. It stuffs you up if you're the wrong side. You're either lucky or unlucky. It's nothing to do with how clever you are. Well, there you are. Well, let that cool down before I get too clever with the pound. Might be some profit taking coming in. That's probably a good idea to short the bloody thing. So it's right up here and it's shot up. Probably come off and profit taking, but I'm not advising you do it, but probably like the scenario. Okay, yeah. Anything else? Want a quick check that the dollar's strengthening? Is it be good? Not much. Nah, I've got in the hourly, nothing much happening there. Anything happening on the yields? Yields are going up a little bit, which might have a little bit of a negative on the gold. Get the gold pulls back another time, and then we might grab it next time. It gets back to the 50-odd mark. Okay. But otherwise, what have we got going again? We've got the shorter EJ1. We've got the CHF JPY, CAD CHF, and the NAS and the Dow. Dow's doing okay. Just over 2. What are we getting the Dow on? Down, where the hell is it now? Oh, there it is. No, we didn't. Where's that? Definitely got it written down. All over the place here. Just give me a second. Ah, found it. Hidden away down there. Buy at 33376. The Dow is now, well, it's come off a little bit, still not doing too badly. It's just over 200 pips in profit. NAS, we know about the NAS 116. Slightly in profit. CAD CHF, sell. Slightly in a negative, good for Tombi. CHF JPY doing okay. Now I couldn't take out these guys here. Back to take out that guy there, you can see on the 1 hour. Or a few sellers came in, but anyway, it's up. So that's overall pretty good, not too bad. Okay. Can't find anything else at the moment. Can you find some stuff you want to go over, check? Anything you want to tweak? Anything you want to ask? You've all got my number, I take it. I just see these strange names in here. I think you've all got my number. If not, let me know. Yeah, everyone's got my number. So if you wanted my WhatsApp number, I'll post it. I see you've all got it. That's no problem. You all know how to save me charts, specifications have all been covered. You all know that. Yeah. So yeah, anything you'd like just want to discuss in the meantime? Does everyone understand this new strategy we're talking about? Anyone not understand it? You understand now, Wandili and Tembi? Tombi, Mudiri, you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Roger,
Yes, sir.
Roger.
Go on.
I'm a bit confused with this EJ strategy.
Okay.
Obviously, if you look at the daily, it looks maybe, as I look now at the CHF JP, it looks like, you know, it's at the top, but do the other time frames and it's suddenly not the buy anymore, but the sell. And when do we actually buy or sell?
Okay, well, okay, I'll show you. The idea behind it is really because a lot of the markets lately have been all sorts of, what you say, fundamentals coming in, etc. But it hasn't sort of made the normal trading principle we've had. So it was decided in a little chat between Etienne and myself that maybe instead of worrying too much what happens outside, don't forget about it, economic fundamentals are important, but just trying to follow what's happening with the buyers, not whether it's any good or not, and if it's a sell, the sellers. So I'm going to go back to the NAS as a reasonably good example. What the concept behind it. I've got it there on the daily, clearly, and even though you might think it's overcooked, it's still sort of going up. And the 10-day is an idea to say, when it breaks down below that, it might be an idea to get out. So if it looks like a buy there, then we can take it to the hourly. And it seems to be on the hourly. Look how it's hugging that. Every time it comes back, it's some sort of report going up. So instead of saying it's overbought here, we'll set the TP here. It's just blah, 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 and then get out, hits the TP. Even though we think it's overvalued, it's still going up for whatever reason. So we're doing that, basically saying that, which one were you talking about there with the CHF JPY, wasn't it? I think it was an example. What we're doing is saying, just trying to get that for you again. Where is it now? CHF JPY. Okay, we're looking to say, is this in the buy zone? Is it above the moving average? Clearly, so we're looking to buy it, not sell it. If it's between the, not the black one, we can take that out if you like. Between the brown and the blue one, neutral, even low. Below that, we look for a sell, we confirm it on the hourly. Now, having said that, clearly on a daily basis, that might be a psychological area saying, even it's confirmed an entry on the shorter principle of 1 hour, you might be a little bit hesitant to leave it, hesitant to take it, so you might leave it. Now, there's plenty of possibilities out here, so it's not going to break your heart to leave it and find something else out there. So you might turn around and say, it's a bit on the high side, we'll go back to the 1 hour, and is it above the 10 1 hour? Yes, it is. But you might thought, I'm a little bit nervous to take it because there's quite a lot of overhead resistance. So that you might decide, I'll miss this one and just accept you're going to miss out. Does that sort of make sense? If you get it, so you've got to tweak it a bit in your head. So you've got to make that thought. I like it. I still think that's doing good, doing okay. It's trying to move up. Should I take it? If it starts coming back down and it goes below there, maybe the loss is not that great or whatever. So there's a little bit of tweaking on that basis. You might turn around and say, right, that's a buy, but it's an incredible amount of resistance on the weekly, the 4 hour, the 100 where the crosshair is. So you might think on the EJ strategy, you might buy it there, but I'd be a little bit nervous because there's so much overhead resistance on all the time frames. I might just hang back and see if it breaks through or get a better price or something. That's the way you got to sort of think on your feet on it a bit. Because you know, we made it very simple, but we've got to maybe tweak it a bit with you know, saying we'll miss this one and look at another one on that basis. If I didn't explain it well enough, maybe somebody else can explain it a bit better. Let's see if we can look at another example. Just pick one haphazardly. Maybe where is it? Let's say NZD. Let's say NZD CHF. There we are. Now, this is just tucking below there. So we on the daily. So let's have a look. This would be a sell because it's in the sell zone. You go to the hourly one, and this would be a sell when it breaks through below here. Would you chase it here? Clearly not. You wouldn't, because it's down to a bit of resistance there. But more the point is the ship has sailed. It's already come off. It's only 15 pips. It might be worthwhile. But this is something, if we noticed it, if it was there and it was round up, it would be there on opening on the hourly at 10 o'clock. It was on opening. Would it be worth it? 14 pips is not so much. You might want to chase it there on that basis. Then that's all. Let's do another one for it. NZDJPY. Quickly go over, put it on the daily. Now you're looking, you can't do it because it's a neither. It's not a good one. Let's see NZDJPY. Look at that, sorry. NZDCAD. Okay, it's in the sell zone on the daily. No, it's not. It's the neutral. We can't do that. It's between these two. Trying to find one that is on neither. Try this one. Yeah, that's clearly in the sell zone. Now, can we do it? Not bad. We could probably do it, but is that ship sold a bit? It's going up a bit. Maybe we can look at this as a sell. Maybe we can get a slightly better price, and we might just. This is just think off the top of my head here. The 15's gone up a bit, then it's come off. Maybe it's worth chasing here, as it turns out. What's the distance to here? 10 pips. That's not so much. You can't see the ship sold on that one. Crunch it a bit. What's the possibility of downside? Look at the 4 hour. Fair bit of downside. It's not a lot of downside. That's, you know, there's plenty of downside. I'd like it a bit more. That's my worry. Going back, there's not a lot of profitable downside. So I'm a little bit hesitant on it, but on that basis, normally I'd say, yeah, let's jump in. It's just the fact that on the daily, how far is the downside? Let's just make sure. Don't need to get that much. So it's only about 50 pips on the daily. We've got to really start crunching it. No, we can't get any real downside momentum. It's a long-term one. You see what I'm thinking? That's what I would be thinking. Is there enough long-term momentum on the downside to make it worth chasing here? I'm going to put a 50 pip stop up here somewhere, and I'm going to chase it down. I've got to go to the weekly now. So I'm jumping the whole hour, not just the 4 hour daily, the whole weekly, and I've got to see if I can get maybe a decent run down. This will give me not even that's good enough. I'm looking down to here to get a decent target, and that's back in June last year. No, I would leave it for that reason. Are you all with me on that thinking? No, we can't, man. This is not go against the rules of the den. Look at NGAT. You'll upset Mark and Farnby. We don't want to do that. We'll look at them in only joking. That sort of makes sense. That's what I'm thinking. We got the trade. Seems to be pretty good. Where's the target? Hang on a minute. Are you going to get your car and drive it to the bloody gate? No. You know, you might as well walk to the gate. It's not enough target, not enough meat in the bones. That's what I'm thinking. You've got minds going around all the time, working around it, etc. It's never ever going to be that simple. If it was, believe you me, we solved the poverty problems of the world. But hopefully we can get a system where we can all think a little bit, with all a reason bit of education and just think a little bit common sense, more than great intelligence. And hopefully it seems to be so far, we only started a couple of days or so ago, I think it was this week actually, no, about Friday last week. I'm hoping that give it at least a week or two, maybe a month to try it out, tweak it. Yeah, the goal, the bit of effort put in, the rewards are fantastic if we can do that. It won't be all snow, it won't be all sunshine, but if it's far more sunshine than rain, we've found something to be working on going into the future. Okay. But we've got to get rid of this idea. We found it. Bang, done, job. Thanks very much. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure there's some clever guys out there in the world with fancy computers and plenty of resources would have come up with something that's a fail-safe before. Okay. NGAS has been giving us nothing but hassle. Natural gas, NGAS, same bloody thing. Every time we thought it's bottomed out, pops up and then it comes off again. Natural gas, NGAS, what do you want to call it? I'm not keen. If you like it, I don't even want to buy it or sell it. That's up to you. I still think it's got to have some value. It can't be worth zero, surely. People use gas, they buy it. They've got to have it somewhere along the line. It's not a worthless bloody commodity, but it's just, it doesn't seem to be happening. I know fundamentally Qatar's come on with enormous gas reserves, but they can just shut the taps off if they find they're not getting enough money for it. They find it cost them producing it, transporting it, not getting enough for it, they'll just shut the taps down to increase the price, supply and demand. So I personally think, and I think the one's got to have some upside soon. But every time I thought that, it comes down further. Just recently we looked at it, around about these levels. Surely it's going to bounce there, it will come down. Going to wake up one day and jump up to here. We missed it, but yeah. If you like it, I presume you want to buy it. Can't be zero value and hold it. Might be a month, might be 3 weeks, might be 2 months down the line. It might suddenly wake up and you hit the jackpot. But at the moment, for short term, I just think look at it. It's not happening. This is not a 5-minute chart, guys. This is a daily chart. It's just not happening. If you've got enough money in your account, and you say, right, I'm going to hold on to this. If it takes me 6-8 weeks or longer, I'm not. I've still got plenty of free money to do other stuff. And come in for when a bounce is likely to occur, then I have a problem. But you don't want to be tying your capital up if you only got a few grand in your account. Like the poor guys today on big salary, got no disposable incomes. All the money's tied up in housing and all the other bits and pieces that come off at the end of the month. Okay, so there you are, man. That's the best I can come up with. I presume a little long. I'd be very surprised if I short it, but on that basis, you can look at it. Okay. Any other question before we go into the close? Now, just probably set up a bit. What's CHF and JPY doing on the same area? CAD CHF hovering a bit, so there's nothing happening there. CHF JPY slow down, but maybe we'll get going. We'll see what happens anyway. But all guys, tweak it a bit, and if you come up with something that can maybe just add a little bit of finesse to it, with pleasure. I've got a few written down here, and I've done just like I kept a journal of it separately to the others. And at the moment, it's not shooting the lights out, but it's doing a heck of a lot better than a lot of the other trades on the other aspect. So it seemed to be more bad market proof. Euro NZD, absolutely. Presume you're looking at the longer term one, the normal one, should we say? Right, Euro NZD on the daily, clearly we're looking to buy it. Looks a bit of resistance. Sellers are coming in, indecision, sellers coming in. I don't see a trade there. Might pull back a bit. I'll be buying it maybe a better price, but 4 hours definitely not getting me an entry. 1 hour's definitely not giving me an entry. Breaks above there, we can look at it, but at the moment, I don't see an entry there. We have much choice at the moment in Tomby. Market's closed, but well, unless you got your strategy, stick with it. Hate to get out of it, and then suddenly it comes off. But yeah, keep your fingers crossed. The best I can come up with. But Monday, yeah, I don't see a trade at the moment. That's my opinion. Do you see a trade there, long or short? Anybody see a trade, long or short on this one? Stated my case. And Tomby, what do you think? Do you see a short there? Do you see a buy there? And so, what reason? Unless you're looking for a pullback, remember it's going against the trend. Pullback to down to here, it's 80 pips. You'd see a pullback down here. Where are you going to put your stop? Ooh, hellfire. That's very, very, very risky. Yeah, it's at the top of the range. You might pull back because you'd be aiming down here. The euro is much stronger at the moment. There's no doubt about it. So you're going against the trend. You're going for a profit-taking pullback, retracement. You're going to aim down here. It's only 70 pips. So where can you put your stop here? Too close, too close. And then no risk to reward. You put it in yesterday's. Let's say it pulls back on the 4 hour to here. 70 pips. Stop up here. There you are. There you are. Very, very risky, incredibly aggressive trade. If you want to take a small position, a bit of a punt actually, then I see a short 25 pip stop, take it down to the 100-day moving average. A quick punt for you. I'm certainly not going to do it, but there you are. Good enough? Anyone want to do a quick punt on that? Some spare cash you just made on the previous trade? It is a punt very much. Quick short down there, 25 pip stop down here somewhere, even 30 pip stop down here. Oh, it's top of the range there. See that range, that's why. He's not looking at highs or lows, just seeing that range on the 4-hour and the daily. It's been arranging on the daily, that's why. It's not getting moving. Look at the sellers coming in, sellers coming in, sellers coming in. I think it could pull back a bit. Very risky. Go against the trend. Very aggressive indeed. It's a punt of note. But otherwise, I'd take your point. Wow, this guy just WhatsApp me. He was sitting without power since last night. Substation had a fire. Look at you. Okay. Could well go up. It's range trading. It could go either way, I suppose. He's just all he's saying is battle to take out this last one, maybe get a bit of a pullback here before go up, but clearly some high zones, no doubt about that. He's just saying a quick profit taking bounce, like shooting it down there very much. But I'd see that. But it's called range trade. Probably see it clear on the 4-hour. See that range trade there? Stop above here, TP down there, quick range trade. And if you lose it, so be it. You know, that's a punt. Okay. A little bit. Clearly, it's produced the product, but it also has fears because it's a major partner with America. It's a big next door neighbor, not countryside, but in economic and etc. And so they obviously tend to move a little bit in sync with the US dollar, but it's not indirect. It's a slight favor on the Canadian. That is correct. Yeah. Yeah. There's other factors. It's a slight one, but there are other factors. Yeah. The dollar itself is coming down. We will talk about the dollar. We mean the US. And there's a bit of favorite there going into it as well. Okay, no more, no less. Like when you sometimes see the gold going up, and you might get something like the yields go up, and they should be going against each other because there's a big bullion purchase in China or India or something for whatever reason. Okay, anyway, all right. Okay, guys. Yeah, well, catch you later. Hopefully we're going to get there. We'll do our best. A little bit better today, so hope it continues. Thanks for sticking out with me. And yeah, those I can catch later. Great stuff. Cheers.